अगर किसी ने हिलने की कोशिश की तो भून के रख दूंगा। अपनी माँ का बेटा मैं हूं और मेरी सौतीली माँ यानी मेरी बाप की दूसरी बीवी का बेटा कानून है। कानून मेरा सौतेला भाई है। I speak Hindi, so just a little bit shift. कहाँ जा रहे हो भाई? अब ठीक हो ना? अरे भाई कहाँ जा रहे हो? ठीक हो ना? तो कहाँ से आ रहा है वो? You know? So it's just that. Bucci is not far from my reality. We always had economical issues. We didn't have milk to drink milk tea in the morning, you know? So I grew up in that household with economical constraints at all times. They rented out a small little hut, our neighbor, to a rickshaw puller, and who was Nur Muhammad Bhai. So since my childhood, I had been friends with him. He used to give me free rides. He used to take me to the school, or whenever I'm walking back from the market, if he's coming from behind, and he'll say, "Hey, चढ़ जाओ, आ जाओ भाई, हम तुमको ले चलते हैं."
All right, so my guest today is someone who we've seen in films, who we've seen in short films, who we've seen in Hindi films, Assamese films, Marathi films, Tamil films, Bengali films, and if all of this was not enough, we've also seen him in Hollywood films. I mean, I could literally go on and on. He's somebody who's extremely talented, and even after him doing all of these amazing roles, we still can't get enough of him. Joining me today is the super talented Adil Hussain. Adil sir, welcome. How are you doing?
Thank you, but it's like a huge superlative appreciation. I feel a bit like small. You know, it's such a long way to go. No, literally, because I've seen great actors, and I'm like, oh my God, how can I act like this person? But thank you very much for appreciating the work that I'm doing.
All right, so we're here to talk about Pareeksha. Like I told you before, even before the film released, I connected with you and I told you how I absolutely loved the film. And I remember we had a little chat and you asked me that, do you think that people are going to like this? And I remember telling you that, listen, I don't think they're going to like it. I think they're going to love it. Because it is such a beautiful film. And I've said this time and again. But now that I see people actually loving it and I see so much love coming your way, so many tweets coming your way, tell me a little about this entire phase. How do you feel, after the success and after knowing the fact that people have appreciated the film so much?
It's overwhelming. I mean, you feel that I feel that I have done, I have put my heart and soul into it. And I feel that whatever I knew about acting, I have put it in there, and still you don't know till people actually see and they respond. Coming to Pareeksha, I'm like, okay, I have done my best, but film is a different ball game. It depends upon the director. So I trusted Prakash Jhaji because he is a master, storyteller, and I'm sure that he will do. But I didn't realize that it has touched so many people and overwhelming responses from across the board, from India, from abroad, everywhere. Not only from Indians abroad, but people, those who are not Indians, like racially not Indians, they have loved it as well.
One thing that has been in my mind ever since I saw the film was, because, I've seen you in so many films, so many roles that you've played, and more recently when I think of you doing a Good News, which is hilarious, which is crazy, which was literally crazy. I mean, you and Tiska Chopra, such an amazing film, and at the same time then I see you in a Pareeksha, which is completely different, and you really have gotten into the skin of Bucci. Not even for a second do we feel that you're Adil Hussain or you're some random character who you might have played, but you, not even for a second do we feel disconnected, because you've really captivated and really pulled us into the whole scene. What was the preparation like for this entire character? Because the way you've got the dialect right, the way you're so nicely riding the rickshaw. So what was the entire prep like for you?
I think that Bucci is not far from my reality. I grew up in the smallest town in Assam,
Hmm.
Gwalpara, which is like, newspapers used to come 3 days later. I mean, it was that backward.
Okay.
And the chief transportation of the entire town were rickshaws. And maybe one or two households would have two-wheelers or a car at the most. It's like rare.
Yeah.
If you hear a car honk, everybody looks like, oh my God, there is a car coming. So I grew up in that particular, and my parents were very, very, from lower middle class. My father was a teacher, then he gave up, and so we always had economical issues. We didn't have milk to drink milk tea in the morning, So I grew up in that household with economical constraints at all times. My dad had four more sons, so they had to be educated, and so I was the last one. And so by the time the resources were completely, gone, so also the neighbor had a renter. They rented out a small little hut, our neighbor, to a rickshaw puller, and who was Nur Muhammad Bhai. Okay. So since my childhood, I had been friends with him. He used to give me free rides. He used to take me to the school, or whenever I'm walking back from the market, if he's coming from behind, and he'll say, "Hey, chad jao, aa jao bhai, hum tumko le chalte hain." And he was a very happy person like Bucci.
Yeah.
And I still remember the smell of the sweat of his body in terms of, because Assam is very humid and he sweat a lot. And I used to go with him to the mechanic shop to fix his rickshaw. So preparation-wise, rickshaw pulling was very difficult, I must say.
Did not look like Did not.
No, but I practiced it. I practiced for a week every day. I used to dress up and I used to take the rickshaw in Ranchi, and I cycled around, and Pareeksha made sure that I get a massage in the evening at the hotel, So that was very, very kind and sweet of him, so that I could pull through.
Yeah. But also for the dialect and everything, when I hear you speak right now, and when I think of you speaking as Bucci, it's crazy how yes, I genuinely cannot bring myself to believe that it's the same person who's in A Life of Pi and the same person who's in a
Right.
It's
also I think accent I'm very, very fond of language and accent. And I had been a mimicry actor for a long time in Assam before I came to NSD. So you cannot mimic unless you hear or listen very well. You have to listen extremely intently and acutely in order to get the nuances of an accent.
Yeah.
And so I speak Hindi, so just a little bit shift. कहाँ जा रहे हो भाई? अब ठीक हो ना? अरे भाई कहाँ जा रहे हो? ठीक हो ना? तो कहाँ से आ रहा है वो? So it's just that. If then Assamese speaking person speaks Hindi, कहाँ जा रहे हो भाई? ठीक है? कहाँ जा रहे हो आप? ठीक है ना? मैं तो कल उधर से आया था. So it's just a little bit shift.
Yeah.
आपका नाम क्या है? Normal Hindi. आपका नाम क्या है? बंगाल आपका नाम क्या है? आपका नाम क्या है? आपका नाम क्या है? So just a little bit shift and you get the accent, but you have to have that eye for ears for it, and you practice it, and that's my job as an actor. I mean, I have to do it. I don't have anything else to do like you do, but this is what I do.
Even when I'm hearing you speak like right now, I still can't believe that you're doing it in front of me. Such perfection. I also want to know, there's this recent buzz, this recent trailer that has come out, which is of Star Trek, and everybody's talking about it. Everybody's so excited, to see you in the trailer. And why don't you only tell me something about that?
Well, I can just tell you a little bit because I've signed a ironclad contract, so I can't really speak much about it. But yeah, it's a good role, and I play one of the, you can see that one of the officers from the trailer, and it's an emotional interaction between the lead actor and me, Sonequa Martin Green, and it happens in future. That much already we know from the trailer, And I had a great experience working with this high-end, people. Like it's the most expensive show on earth today, um, Star Trek. And people are so humble. You're like, oh, okay, this guy has won Oscar, that one has got all these awards from across the globe.
Yeah.
And they're like the humblest bunch of people that I've ever met, including the lead actor. She is like a person who would melt. The first thing she did as soon as she saw me, Adil, can I give you a hug? And she gave and hugged me and said, oh, I'm so looking forward to working with you, Adil. I mean, I'm there as a guest actor for like 2 or 3 episodes, but she immediately made herself equal, or made me equal with her. That quality I wish I've seen in some actors in India, but most of us are not. We still have this feudal attitude that I am a better or a higher actor and the juniors are extras and lower. So that was very overwhelming and very, very educating.
Before we end this, I have one little request. Since I had thought of this even before, and then you did speak about it while talking to me about your initial days, I know for a fact that you do really nice mimicry, like really on point. And I have seen a couple of those where you have, mimicked some of the most amazing actors that we've had. I would really request you to please do a few for us, and if you could, just.
Well, I haven't been doing for a long time. I'm not sure. I used to do Shatru Saab, he's still there. So if he sees this, he will be like, oh God, Adil, what are you doing? Oh, kiss haram zada ne yaar ke zurrat ke. So Shatru ji. Then say Ajit.
Yeah.
तमाम प्लान के मुताबिक हम आज रात को 12 बजे हिंदुस्तान, something like that, Then Rajkumar would be, जानी तुम जानते नहीं हम किस खेत की मूली है. Anyway, बच्चन साहब, अगर किसी ने हिलने की कोशिश की तो भून के रख दूंगा.
What? I thought for a second that was him. Shit, that was so good. More, I want more. Please, I want more.
Oh God, who else? Jagdeep Saab. He just left the world, and I chatted with Javed the other day. So he saw my mimicry of his father, Hey, Mia, Jaka, He was so good. Who else did I do? I used to do Rajiv Gandhi.
Okay, that's interesting.
हमें देखना है जापान का टेक्नोलॉजी इस्तेमाल करके. Something. So in that zone, I forgot. I don't remember the. Yeah. So who else? I forgot. I don't remember who else. Quite a lot. I used to do quite a lot.
Good. Wow. Can I request you? One thing? Can you just do Amitabh Bachchan once more, because I still.
रोमा तुम बहुत अच्छी लड़की हो. जानती हो रोमा, मेरे बाप ने 2 शादियां की हैं. एक मेरी माँ के साथ और एक अपनी नौकरी के साथ. अपनी माँ का बेटा मैं हूं और मेरी सौतीली माँ यानी मेरी बाप की दूसरी बीवी का बेटा कानून है. कानून मेरा सौतेला भाई है. सौतेला भाई है मेरा. Something like that.
Clap for that. Wow. I mean, is there anything that you can't do?
No, I can't do a lot of things in my life. I wish I could.
I highly doubt that. But it was so great connecting with you, Adil sir. Really, thank you for taking out time for this. And I'm really looking forward to a lot of other projects that I'm very sure that we'll be seeing you in. And for everybody who still hasn't watched Pareeksha, You're really missing out on a gem of a film. It is on Z5, and I really think that everybody should watch it for the beautiful film that it is. So thank you so much, sir. And I really hope that we get to connect again and we get to chat more
Yes.
about other stuff.
Okay. Thanks, Shweta. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.